Welcome back to Casuals Corner, and today we're going to be going through one of the hottest topics in MMA at the moment. You probably already know who it is. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. What next for him, and who should he fight, and who do I think that he should fight next, and what's a good matchup? But before we jump into the video, please drop a like and a subscribe, as it really helps me to grow my channel, and it would be much appreciated if you enjoy the content. So let's have a look at it. So with Paddy the Baddy, we obviously saw what he done on the weekend. He called a first round finish to Luigi Vendramini. I just kind of wanted to say that because it rolled off the tongue pretty nicely. But he called a first round finish. We saw a first round finish. We saw a fight. So where does he go from here? An interesting one with the lightweight division because it is stacked. Not only at the top, but just throughout the whole division. There are a lot of names and there are a lot of good matchups as well throughout it. A couple of names that jumped off the page. The first one was Barhamundez. So for anyone that doesn't know, he was the one with the spinning wheel kick a few weeks ago now. And he's actually a very good fighter. He's 24 years of age. He's got a good record. He's got a few losses on his record. But like I said, he's very, very young. It could also do quite a lot for Paddy's presence in sort of South America because Barhamundez has got quite a good following. I think he's got about 110,000 followers on Instagram. Because he comes from a smaller country where they have less representation in the UFC, he's a bit more of a name, and he's a big hot prospect as well. So that could be a good matchup, and that could be good for him to get a little bit of exposure in South America, because these are the things that UFC think about, because they are a marketing machine. But the next one which actually really excited me, the next couple which really excited me, is I saw on Twitter someone asked Terence McKinney about Paddy Pimblett, and he said he'll knock him out. Now, if anyone doesn't know who Terence McKinney is, he's a problem. He's a serious problem. Now, I would recommend going on YouTube and having a look at his backstory. I won't go into it here, but it's very inspiring. And we recently saw him with a 7-second knockout. 7 second. And it was actually one of the more impressive quick knockouts recently, because it was a 1-2, and it's not often that you see the first two punches of a fight land and them to knock him out. But his boxing is crisp, he is strong, and he is a problem. He's got a decent record, and that could be a very good matchup. And now that's out there in the Twitter world, I want to see more pressure get put onto that, because they're floating around that sort of same space in the lightweight division. They're both very young, and that could be exciting. And we know how Paddy loves to get in a bit of a firefight, so it could be a very good scrap for the neutrals as well. Another name which there hasn't been any mention about, there hasn't been any back and forth or any sort of Twitter beef or anything like that, but someone which excites me, Clay Guida. Now, we recently saw Clay. I mean, we could probably see him every week given half the chance. He's an absolute savage. But we recently saw him in there with Marco Madsen, and he lost on a decision, and he thought he should have won it. And it just goes to sort of show that he's still doing the business in his later years. I think he's 38 now, but he can still press a pace, he's still chaotic, and he can still take some damage as well. He is in the fight for full 15 minutes. So stylistically with Paddy Pimblett, that could be an absolute war, because Paddy definitely has the abilities, and I think he has the advantage in terms of the striking, but they both have a very good chin, and they both set a pace. So that could be an absolute barn burner, and I would love to sort of see that happen. And the good thing for Paddy off the back of that is name recognition. Obviously Clay's one of the biggest names to sort of do it at that way, and is still so loved by the fans, so there'll be a nice crossover for him there as well. And again, just big name recognition, big brand recognition, and it sort of again gets that sort of marketing process churning. And someone off the back of that as well, which I thought could be quite interesting, someone that recently, I say recently, in his most recent fight lost to Clay, is Michael Johnson. Now, we know that he has a very spotty record, and I think he's nigh on evens win to losses, but we know how dangerous he can be, and the wins that he does have on his record are very impressive wins. So he always poses that threat. And again, big name recognition for Paddy, which I think's a good thing to do at this stage. I think if he can get fights with good brand recognition, good name behind them, but favourable matchups, which I think Clay and Michael Johnson are, I think that's the winning combination. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all pans out. I'm sure he's going to be more than active on Instagram, on Twitter, on God knows every platform. And he was looking fresh. He finished obviously in the first round, and I don't think he was too hurt, apart from a couple of strong low kicks. So hopefully we'll see him get back in there pretty soon. And I would love to see one of those English boys headline a British card in London, maybe in the new year. that was my favourite call out of the night. That was my favourite call out of recent. As soon as he done that, I was like, yes, because that is what we need. And I was gutted that I couldn't be there for this weekend's fight. So as always, I guess we're going to find out. But if you did enjoy the content, please drop a like and a subscribe. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Casuals Corner. And as well, if you enjoy the content on YouTube, I put all of the audio on our Apple Podcasts and our Spotify, short and long form, so you can enjoy our dulcet tones on the go and you can never miss a piece of content. So get over to that. Again, at Casuals Corner is how to find us. And take care of yourself. Peace.